to learn so that when you go to restaurants, you'll understand how to order your eggs. So soft boiled eggs right here is basically boiling an egg with the shell on. So you just put the whole egg in a pot of hot water and you cook it for a little while, and you don't want to cook it too much so that the yolk will be runny. So you can see it's still like runny inside. And then hard boiled egg right here, that is just cooked a little longer than the soft boiled egg. So the yolk inside is firm. And then over boiled egg, it's cooked even longer than hard boiled. So everything is just fully cooked and hard. And an overboiled egg will have a green ring around the yolk. And you can see it in that picture. So these are just different levels that you can cook it. And then the next one is a poached egg at the end. A poached egg is basically, have you guys ever eaten an English muffin or eggs Benedict? Well, this is just another way to cook an egg. It's you crack the egg in water and you just cook it a little bit so that the yolk is still runny. Next is sunny side up. This is just a fried egg in a pan, and you don't flip it over. You just crack the egg, let it cook, and take it off before the yolk hardens. Over easy is the same thing, except you flip it over and you cook both sides. But even though you flip it over and cook both sides of the egg, the yolk is still runny inside. And then over hard is just like over easy, except you just cook it longer. So then the yolk, the yellow part of the egg, and the white part of the egg is completely cooked. And then scrambled is you just crack the egg, you stir it up, and you just cook it like that in a frying pan. And there's one more way to cook eggs, and this is an omelet. So an omelet is just like scrambled eggs, except you put it in a frying pan and you make it like a pancake. So it's really thin and round. And then you put vegetables or even meat inside the egg, and you roll it up. So it's like a little pocket of food. So this is different ways to order steak. So it just goes from being very rare and raw to being fully cooked on the bottom. So blue rare is where the meat is just cooked really lightly, and it's, as you can see, it's pretty red inside, so it's hardly even cooked. And then rare, it's cooked a little bit more, but it's still really raw. And then we have medium rare right here. It's cooked a little bit more, and then medium, it's a little bit pink. Thank you. It's a little pink. And then medium well, there's hardly any pink meat. And then well done is the meat is fully cooked. There's no red or pink color in it. In restaurants, many times the server will ask you, do you want a soup or salad? And they just want you to choose if you want a soup with your meal or a salad. It's pretty, that part is pretty simple. And next is tipping. And in the United States, tipping is very important. I know in Asian countries, maybe you guys, they don't tip very often, or it's not customary, but in the US it is. And another word for tip is gratuity. So if you see that word, it just means tip. So usually we tip 15 to 20% of the entire bill, but this is before the tax is added. The amount you tip depends on the service that you're given. So if your server is really rude and that he just like throws you your food, maybe you'll tip him like 10%, not so much. But if your server is really nice and really good, then maybe you'll tip 20%. So it depends on how you feel you got served. If you have a group of 6 or more people, then it'll say something like 18% gratuity will be added to parties of 6 or more. So that means that if you have 6 or more people in your group or party, your tip will already be included in your bill. So you don't need to add tip, since they're already making you pay tip inside the bill. Do you have any questions on this? It's a lot of information.
I have a question.
Yes.
Page one? Yeah. Fried, fried.
Yes.
Cooked over directly heat in the hot oil
Yes.
or fat.
Yes.
And next page, sauteed, fried, fried quickly in a little oil or fat.
Yes. Okay.
Oil or fat is a difference.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Same.
Oil.
Deep fried, right? The other one's deep fried. This one's like just a little bit.
Like that could also be like lard or like
Sometimes or like peanut butter.
Yeah.
Maybe like butter, or you can add like
Fat.
you can add fat into it. Or most people just use oil.
Liquid,
Yeah, liquid. Yeah, like canola or vegetable
Yeah, kind of
oil.
more solid.
Yeah.
If I go to restaurant, 6 or 7 people, I don't need to give tip.
Yes.
They my bill including
Yes. Yes. Because usually at restaurants, when they give you your bill, they give you a little receipt, right? A little white piece of paper, and it has the amount, the total amount, and then an empty space. And on that empty space, that's usually where you write your tip. But if you have 6 or more people, then you can just leave it blank and just pay the total amount, because they already included in your bill.
But it depends on
Yeah,
the
it depends on the
restaurant.
restaurant.
It'll say they'll usually put like a sign out that says letting you know.
They'll put a sign that says this, something like this. The percentage might be different, but it'll say basically that gratuity or tip will be added. So just look at the bottom of the menu. Usually it's in small words at the bottom, and it'll say whether or not it's included.
And if you're not sure, you can always ask them, oh, is the tip included in the bill?
Yeah. Do you have any other questions? No? Okay. So next we're going to go into our main activity, which Ganga will tell you about.
Okay, so what we're gonna do tonight is we set these tables up so it's like a restaurant. So we'll partner each of you up with one of our teaching assistants, and then you're gonna enter from here. You'll meet the hostess. The hostess is the one that greets you and seats you to your table, and then you'll get your menus and practice ordering your meal. So we have these handouts. We can look over these together. Just to help, you can take them home for your reference, but also tonight, when we're doing the activity, it talks about the first one is common questions and phrases. That's the first page. So, for example, you'll see it's in the different steps. So when you go into a restaurant, it says entering, seating. So that's the hostess will greet you, bring you to your table. From there, you do the ordering. So your server will come and take your order. And next is when you get your beverages and your food, desserts, and the last thing